Hey, what's going on, guys? Wander Nomad back here with you again. Today, I'm going to go over what everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know, when you get into a trucking company, how much does it pay? How much does this company pay and that company pay? That's one of the main contributing factors you're looking for when you're looking for a company to come to. I've got the information. If you remember from my earlier videos, I wrote all my notes on a paper plate, so I'm just going to go off of that. Still just going to use that. Alright, so first off, experience needed to come here. I believe their experience, and I'm just speaking from a company driver standpoint, I believe their experience is 1 year to not go out with a trainer. It might be 6 months. Don't quote me with that. But they will also take all the way from fresh out of CDL school. I do want to clarify what I had talked about in a previous video as far as accepting students out of school. They will accept students out of school. They will not pay for your school. They do not have schools. They have affiliated schools that they're affiliated with that they will take drivers from. A full list of those can be found on Crete Carrier's website. But that's and as far as I know, they don't do tuition reimbursement. Instead, the pay is among the best that I've seen. Pay, if you're a student, pay is $700 a week while you're on your trainer's truck. So you'll get paid $700 a week salary straight out. I do not believe that they run them as teams. I believe Crete does not allow you to team while you're in training. So that's a big plus. Your trainer is focused on training you and making sure you have the information you need to succeed with this company. By the way, sorry about the background noise. I do drive reefer. That thing's got to go. I got a load of ice cream, so can't just turn it off. Alright, now after you're out of training, for a brand new student, just fresh out of school, no experience whatsoever, on the Crete side, you will get 41 cents per mile. They pay practical miles. They do not pay household goods miles, also known as short route or short miles. There's so many names for it, but they pay practical miles, which is much closer to the actual amount of miles you'll drive. And I've found that when I was at previous companies, I was driving upwards of 10% for free. Here, it's 2 to 5% that I don't get paid for. So I'm getting paid for a lot more of the miles that I run. But continuing on, 41 cents per mile for Crete, 43 cents per mile on the Shaffer side. This is fresh out of school, no experience, none of that. Shaffer is their refrigerated division. That's the division that I'm in. Now, you come to Crete and say, I've got 30 years of experience. What do you give to me? They look at the last 5 years of your driving history. So with the last 5 years, you get, if you have 5 years of verifiable experience in the last 5 years, meaning you didn't take a year off or you didn't take 6 months off or whatever, if you can verify 5 consecutive years in the industry. Also, a lot of these fly-by-night companies, non-verifiable. So that's something that you have to watch out for. But if you do have 5 years in 5 years, on Crete, your starting pay will be 53 cents per mile. On the Shaffer side, you will be starting at 56 cents per mile. I only have about 2.5 years of experience. My pay is in between there. I'm definitely not at the top out pay. The maximum pay as of July of 2019 is, I believe, 57 cents per mile on Crete and 60 cents per mile on Shaffer. I'm fairly certain that's what it is. That's the maximum pay you'll receive. Now, they do raises. They do across the board raises regularly. You do get a raise after achieving a certain amount of miles. I honestly do not remember what that mileage was. All the paperwork's in the back. I'm not really in a position to look for it at the moment. They do not pay a signing bonus. So what that means is the money that they're not paying out in signing bonuses, they can put in your check every week. That saving on that signing bonus might make an extra 2 cents a mile for everybody. So they do not do signing bonus. Detention pay. Detention is, again, I looked it up and I couldn't find any clarity on it. I cannot remember if it is 1 or 2 hours free, and then it is $15 an hour. You'll receive a good amount of detention on Shaffer side, since refrigerated goods are always being live loaded, unloaded. Every once in a while you get a drop and hook. You'll make decent on detention pay, but they give you a lot of miles as well. Breakdown pay I discussed in my last video. Check that out if you haven't already. How does breakdown work? So I have not done a full week, so I cannot vouch on what the average pay is or anything like that before I'm willing to release any settlements or anything stubs or anything like that. I want to have like 4 weeks of solid work. The first week had orientation on it, not really a solid week of work. Second week I broke down, so I don't have any solid weeks of pay right now. So that's in about a month. Keep an eye out for that. But they claim average miles per week is about 2,900 on Crete and 2,500 on Shaffer. So there's miles to be had here. Let me see what else fits in with this. That is most of it. There's also accessory pay. As far as if you're with Hunt Transportation, tarping gets you money and that kind of stuff. There's not too much here with Crete and Shaffer, but one thing that I can say is they have short haul pay. I believe it's anything to 200 miles. I don't have my booklet with me right now, but I think it's anything up to 200 miles, and they have 3 different levels. So you'll get your mileage pay, but you'll also receive, I believe it's $45, $55, and $65, depending. The shorter, the higher. I think it's like up to 100 miles, you get an extra $65 on top of your mileage pay. And, that kind of stuff. So you do receive short haul pay here. It's a flat rate. There's no sliding scale. Your miles are your miles. That way you don't, if you're trying to keep track of how much you're making each week, you'll be able to do that. Your mileage isn't going to change because you drove 528 miles, and that's a different rate than anything over 600 miles. So you'll figure that out as you go, but I kind of wanted to get you guys a video on the current pay, since I'm sure that's what everybody wants to know. How much will you get paid here? So I gotta head on out here to Gordonsville, Virginia. Finally got my load out of Lenore City, Tennessee. Delivers tomorrow night at 7. figure out what time I'm going to upload that for you guys.